Hello everyone, and welcome to the in-depth commentary of episode 2 and Quicker. In episode 2 and Quicker, we finished Half-Life 2 episode 2 in 25 minutes and 8 seconds, in segmented on easy difficulty. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing quick introductions here, and then we're going to be going into the run and explaining it in depth. So, I'm Yuxpa, and with me is...
I'm Calamity.
And I'm Munted.
And we also had, I think, 5 other people working on this one. We had Rama, Rain TNT, Smiley, and QE2B, so I think that's 4 people. So they didn't take part in this commentary. I think they might be working on a Russian language version, but I'm not sure about that. I think QE2B was saying that he might be doing that. But yeah, without further ado, we can go into the run.
Sorry, my neighbor's being very noisy right now. I hope you can't hear that.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh, someone just unpaused it and then paused it.
Okay, we're going. This title screen, 10 seconds, and then we're gonna get control inside the train. And well, we want to get out the train as quickly as possible, right? So there's a trigger here that moves the train slightly, and while it's moving, you can sort of get stuck in it. And whenever you're stuck somewhere in this game, when you then save and load the save, the game will push you down a little bit, so you can move that. You can use that to move down. And there's also some suitcases that fell out of the train, and those are very useful. I'm gonna launch off of one and grab the other, and get stuck in the suitcase here. This is a prop clip. You get stuck in the prop by pushing it into a wall, and then because you're stuck, you can save load and go down the same way. And that skips the whole opening cutscene part where we get the gravity gun and have to wait for Alex to talk for like a minute.
Okay, so, oh gosh. So a lot of things just happened there. So we needed to get up this little slanted area as fast as possible. So the way we performed that was by starting a circle strafe. Now, a circle strafe is just a movement technique that we have that lets us start with a lot more speed than just running forward. Right after doing that, we jump on the little fallen over minecart, and that's actually a physics prop. So when we jump on it, we get stuck on it for just a second. And that launches us off, giving us lots of speed. And to complete the upwards climb, we do something called ABH. So ABH is going to be like our primary way of movement throughout this run. When Valve originally released Half-Life 2, there was a movement technique called forwards bunny hopping, and Valve didn't like that, so they tried to patch it. And the way they did it was every time that you went forward too quickly, it would give you negative speed. But you could trick the engine into thinking that you're still going forward just by jumping and turning around in midair. And every time you jump, now facing backwards, it would give you negative speed and just gives you lots of speed, and you can go real fast with it. And that's how we traverse across the game this quickly. So, yoink.
Another clip there.
And then we go into the out of bounds portion of this run, the first out of bounds portion. We do like another prop clip there with it's like a small little it's like a gas canister or something.
Yeah.
And where you just walk into it and then the prop spins into you and then you can get stuck in it and save load down. And then we go out of bounds. And in this version of episode 2, you can actually move out of bounds. On more recent versions, you just get stuck. But on this pre-2009 version of the game, you can actually move out of bounds. And one peculiar thing is that if you spam crouch, all of your movement gets like multiplied by a factor of like 1.6. So that's what you can actually use to fall down a little bit quicker here. And then I land on the ground there. There's like an invisible floor, I guess. And the way you can negate fall damage in out of bounds is you can pause the game, and pausing the game actually resets your velocity to 0. So you can fall down and then pause and unpause, and then that's how you can survive the fall, because otherwise you'd obviously die of fall damage. And then in Out of Bounds, we do this like a little ABH, and then we ABH across this gap to the end of the map.
You want to talk about the save load ABH as well?
Yeah, so I'll be going into that just here. So at the end of the previous map, we So at the end of the previous map, we save load into the level change trigger. So the level changes, and we're now on the second map. And we get to above this like cave section over here. And the way you can start an ABH really fast in Out of Bounds is you can obviously use the circle strafe mechanic that we used before. But what you can also do is that you can abuse the save load mechanic to go down quicker. So you can jump and then you save load a little bit after jumping, so you hit the ground faster. So you can do like lots of jumps in a row to get to pretty much the max velocity possible in Out of Bounds. So that's really useful for speedrunning, obviously. And for the second map, what you can do is we also did this in episode 2 done quick, but you can do this like massive jump across the whole map, and you can skip pretty much the entire actual gameplay section of the map. Save load ABH there, and then do a jump halfway through the map. Like that, and then you can...
And duck spamming the whole time.
Yeah, obviously duck spamming the whole time, because that makes you go a little bit faster. Like that jump would not be possible if duck spamming didn't exist. That's really tight, actually, how you can do it. And then at the end of the map, we just like save load back inbounds and hit the level change trigger. And then we go and do fast save deletion, which Calamity is going to explain.
Yeah, so the way that we used to do save deleting is we used to make a save and actually delete it in the menu. So we had to open the menu and delete the save, and then use a command called reload that loads the last save that was made. But since that save was deleted, the game can't find it, and it just completely restarts the map. But it was then discovered that if you just make a save with an extremely long name, then Windows kind of fucks up and doesn't give it a file extension, and then the game can't find the save, and also it just goes back to restarting the map completely.
So that's obviously useful because we don't actually have like the gravity gun or anything.
Yeah, and we get the gravity gun with that.
Yeah, and like health, because we were on like 1 HP, so that's also useful.
And this is Voltal Coil. This is where you're supposed to go down into the mines and have some adventures with a Vortigaunt. And like Alex nearly dies, but we skip all of that. We just launch up into another level change trigger. And we skip like 2 maps doing that. We just, yeah. It was really fast. And the whole chapter takes like 8 seconds.
So in this chapter, we do like a little launch off of the pallet there. Then there's an invisible ceiling that you can stand on. And there's a little difference here with what we do here compared to episode 2 done quick. In episode 2 done quick, we used the pallet and the ABH across the whole invisible ceiling here. But what QV2B and the runners actually discovered was that it was faster to ABH here quick and grab the barrel and then do an ABH here instead of traveling with the pallet the whole way. Because the way holding props in Half-Life 2 works with the gravity gun or with just E is that there's like a certain max speed that you can travel at while still holding the prop. You can't really go faster than like 1,000 ups.
Yeah, it's
1,000. So
the prop can't go faster than that.
Yeah, the prop like starts lagging behind if you go faster than 1,000 ups. So that's why you have to actually like slow down quite a bit. So what they discovered was that it was actually faster to go here fast and then grab the barrel. Even though you have to like do this circle strafe thing in order to get the ABH going, it's still faster than the pallet thing. And then there's like a clip to the end of the map which skips the antlion guard fight. And we also did that in episode 2 done quick, so that's nothing new. And going into 06.
Yeah, we're already on map 6 here. It goes by. We're a minute in and we're already on map 6.
Okay, so there we grab a little ramp off the a little keyboard which is underneath the monitor. And then here we go into the backside of a displacement. Now displacements in Source Engine is just a fancy word for bumpy ground. Now the front side of a displacement is where you would walk around, and that has proper collision. But when you start touching the underside of a displacement, it doesn't really know how to tell that there's a player there. So it kind of gets you stuck in it really easily, and we can use that to do a clip downwards into the tunnel and skip a large portion of this map where you have to go around, kill zombies, and get a car. Alright.
With enough
It's also
speed, you can also just clip straight through a displacement from the backside.
It's also
Oh, yeah.
worth mentioning that when we're doing these clips, it's essentially like a save load sequence, but when we make it into the final video, it looks like this really fast. And that's because like all of the loading screens get cut from the final video, so it looks a little bit weird. But
Yeah.
I think it looks
in actuality, there would be like lots of loading screens there.
with the loading screens, you wouldn't even see yourself going down because the first few frames aren't rendered.
Yeah, and also the reason that the loading screens are cut out is because it's the time between the loading screens are very inconsistent between other people's PCs, so we don't want to add that time. And also, it looks cooler.
And also, we render it with demos, so there's no loading screen. There's no loading screens between them anyway.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's move on. Right, it's oh yeah, slope bug is the next thing.
Slope bug.
Yes. So we fell from a pretty great height there onto the ground, but we didn't take any fall damage. Because when you land on a slope with enough speed, the game thinks you're actually surfing on it instead of falling on it. So you kind of get to keep your speed and you just kind of slide on the ground. And we do that a second time off this train carriage. And another interesting feature of this game engine is that when you're doing standing jumps on flat ground, you do double jumps, because of the weird way that the game calculates your speed from jumping. Because in this version, when you jump, the game adds the jumping speed to your current speed instead of setting it to the jumping speed. So when you jump and then land on flat ground and then jump again, it adds the jumping speed to the falling speed you already had, and it ends up cancelling out to 0, and you just stay on the ground for the first jump. And a few ticks later you get a second jump.
Then we're going into the helicopter map, and something to keep in mind here is that we actually take it a little bit slow here. You can see it's like bump into the wall there. And the reasoning for that is that if you go too fast here, it soft locks the game, and the helicopter gets stuck in the skybox. So that's something to keep in mind for this whole map. And then we do another slope back here. There.
Tiny slope.
And yeah, like on the low roof there. And then hitting that trigger, there's like a trigger that starts the helicopter fight. And that, you want to hit that with a really specific timing in order to make the helicopter follow you really fast.
T-pose Alex, by the way.
T-pose Alex.
Yeah, of course. And then for the fight, the helicopter drops bombs depending on where you're located. And it feels like somewhat random. I'm not sure if it actually is random, but it's like, he usually only drops like one bomb, but here QV2B gets really good luck. And he gets like 3 instant drops here. And
Yeah, this
another
is really
difference,
hard to do.
Yeah, this is really hard. And another difference with this one and episode 2 done quick is that we did episode 2 done quick on hard, and in hard, the helicopter takes 5 shots to kill, and on easy it only takes 3. And because of that, this fight can be much faster. And yeah, so you want to get the 3 shots quickly, and you want to get the helicopter to die right in that area, because it makes it skip the helicopter death animation, which lasts like 9 seconds or something. And
Okay,
yeah.
so
and I'll explain some stuff about helicopter still. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so another thing you need to keep in mind about the helicopter is that usually you only hit it like twice, and then it goes into like in range mode, I guess you could call it, where it drops like a whole lot of bombs. But because we got the helicopter drops drop 3 bombs instantly, we skipped that whole phase, so that made the fight quite a bit faster.
Okay. So here we use a little piece of metal to bonk Alex a few times on the head. Now, and that causes Alex to teleport to a different location on the ground. And the way this works is, if you put a prop on top of an NPC's head, sometimes the game engine thinks, hey, this NPC is stuck, and we really need this NPC to get to this other point, otherwise the game will be broken. So the way that they solve that is just to teleport the NPC to the next ground node. And we do it a few times across the run, but here we use it to speed up Alex.
You can save quite a bit of time, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's just cutscene where they're talking.
Yeah, I like because Alex actually going quite a far distance there, so it saves quite a bit of time. The teleports are really difficult to do with that prop, by the way. It's not a very good prop for teleporting at all.
Yeah, there's some props that are much better than others. Like his tiny wood pieces are really good, and books, and little cardboard boxes. And now we're actually going on top of this little room here. That the level change trigger is inside this room, but the level doesn't change until Alex actually walks into it. And oh yeah, here, this is a stuck launch again. We jump on a tilted prop. I think it has to be tilted, or it makes it a lot easier if it is. And you get stuck in it, and you can still ABH on the prop while you're stuck in it, so you build up speed really quickly. And then you eventually get unstuck and you just fly away. Like that. And one of the differences from this run to the old run is that we don't have to kill the auto turret. We can just fly past it. And that saves like 10-15 seconds over the old run, I think. And
yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, and we also skipped a trigger that fixes the car, so we can't drive the car even if we wanted to.
No, the car doesn't actually spawn when we do this route. You need to actually destroy the auto turret for the car to spawn. Like, you can't actually see it.
So, right at the start of that map, it went by really quickly, but there's actually a huge invisible ceiling.
Yeah, but it's right here. It's right here.
Oh, it's right here?
Yeah.
Okay, whoops. So, if we keep going. Sorry. Right there, we do a quite a wide strafe, and we do that to get into a very small area where there is a hole in this invisible ceiling, and that allows us to skip past a large portion of this map where it's just a big, long cutscene, long fight, and we don't have time for that, so we just skip past it.
Gotta go fast.
Oh, got to go fast. Just pausing it. Monkey. Yeah, there we go.
And then we do like a slow bug off the road there, and we do a fast save again, in order to restart the map. And a big difference between this one and episode 2 and Quick is in episode 2 and Quick we did the whole dog race, racing dog with the car. Or I think we did quite a cool route there where we like had dog like drag the car the whole race.
That was so cool.
Yeah, we got something cool as well this time, because we actually figured out how to like, skip the entire fight. Or, no fight. Well, there's like a fight cutscene there, or whatever. And there's a peculiar thing on this map where you don't take any damage.
1 second, the playback just stopped for me.
Oh, well, now we're at the start. Okay, hold on.
I'll try to fix it.
Hold on, we'll get there. Technical
Okay.
Okay, we can go.
We're synced again. I think.
Hole in the sky, and then a
save for the
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a peculiar thing here where you don't take any fall damage at the start of this map. I'm not entirely sure what the reasoning for that is. I think it could be that you get thrown around the cutscene, so maybe you could die of fall damage when there's like the dogs fighting the strider or whatever. So that's quite convenient for speedrunning, obviously, because we don't have to worry about fall damage here. So we take like a massive like chunk sound, but we take 0 fall damage, and that's why. And then we do the dog skip, where I do a clip with the metal trolley there, and I save load out of the room. And that does something really weird, where because I leave the room in like inside a loading screen, the game doesn't notice that I actually left the room. So what that does is I count in as like multiple people inside that room now. So normally what you'd need Dog, Alex, and you to be inside that room for the level to change. But now I'm counting as like 3 people when I now step in the trigger. So that's why I can actually make the level change without Dog and Alex. And that allows us to like not care about the car at all. We can skip the dog race, etc., etc. So SMG net boost to get on top of the level, and then as the level changes, I'm like inside the load trigger. And the way these maps like overlap is that if you stand there, you actually end up out of bounds for the next level, which is very convenient. And then we do the second out of bounds portion in this run. And we just go into the next map like so. And hitting there's like a little trigger there that you can also hit from out of bounds and still continue out of bounds. And it changes the level. And we do a save load ABH here to get a little bit more speed. And then launch off of that. There's like a little slope there that you can launch out of. And then we do like a complete 180 strafe here with and also some crouch boosting to go a little bit faster. And we end up at the end of the map. And so that skipped the entire like going through the insiders of this map, going to the bottom here. And we also did something a little bit different to episode 2 Done Quick here, where we did the following portion from this quite a bit faster, but I still needed to throw the table first and then press the button because of some timing related reasons. So we're gonna be throwing the table there, press the button, it's gonna start closing the silo, then we do like a stock launch, clip in bounce with like a displacement clip. So a lot of stuff happening, but all that's been explained before. And this cutscene was a little bit faster than episode 2 Done Quick because Alex hadn't spawned yet there. So it actually skipped a line of dialogue because Alex hadn't spawned. And I think there was like maybe half a second of extra time there before Alex spawned and the Vodicon started going over to the keypad. So that's why we needed to throw the table first and then press the button, and not the other way around. Because logically, you'd probably want to press the button first so it starts the cutscene and everything. But in this case, like we would have lost more time in the dialogue because Alex would have already spawned. So Alex spawning later because we pressed the button later actually saved time in this case. And then
Yeah,
we
the NPCs, when you run into them, they kind of move out of the way for you because they're nice like that. And you can use that to push NPCs to where you want them to go. And in this case, it's there's a trigger that Alex needs to be in, I think.
Yeah. And because this cutscene is way too boring to watch, we're gonna be skipping over like 6 minutes to the end of the cutscene.
Yeah, there's not really anything to talk about here.
Yeah, so I'll do the honors. Let's see. Okay, there. I think it worked.
Okay. So we're now out doing a bit of training with Magnuson devices with Dr. Magnuson. And there's a bit of dialogue here. So we're going to take this first Magnuson device and we're going to punt it and wait a little bit. And that skips a little bit of dialogue, which just makes it a little bit faster. And then we do a little teleport for Uriah here in a second. There we go.
It's a bit more slow paced
Now we're doing a setup. Oh, so here we're timing a grenade. In a second here. So that's a very well timed grenade with a well timed punt. and that instantly explodes that Magnuson device, which is very nice. And here we do some teleports. And trigger the dialogue, and then we use this Magnuson device to do something called a prop climb. Now, a prop climb is very self-explanatory. We get on top of a prop, and then we grab the prop, and then jump off the prop, and then grab it again and jump off, and we repeat that. And we can use almost any prop to just climb up any vertical surface. Not the most efficient way to get up a vertical height, but
It's very
we use it
reliable.
for this bit here. Yeah, it is very reliable.
Yeah, I
And,
think. Yeah, you can go.
Oh, sorry. And here we're continuing going. We clip down just a little bit here, and here we clip down again, and we skip waiting for Magnuson to talk about his microwave casserole and to open the door for us. Yeah, and then Calamity.
Yeah. Well, the thing with the door is there's a trigger on the side that we're on now that you have to hit. But when you start on the side, you can hit it immediately, and the door only opens for like a few ticks. And this is like 30 seconds of dialogue again. We can speed it up a little bit with some cool teleports. That's really all we can do. And then we are gonna get into the car for like 5
Yeah,
seconds.
Yeah, because you actually need the car in order to like open the gate and to actually get out and do stuff.
Yeah, there's a trigger there that requires the car. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the car around and drive backwards, because the car drives faster when you drive it backwards. There's like no speed cap for it, you just keep going faster. And it needs to end up in a very specific location, and I spent like 10 hours, 15 hours grinding, just getting the car into this specific spot. Suck launch off of it, and this is so fast. Hit a trigger. Yes, so...
Oh yeah, you're doing setup. Yeah, no mind.
Yes, I do that. Now that starts like a 20-second dialogue, cutscene. The guy has to talk about what we're gonna do. And after that cutscene, a strider is going to spawn at the... what is it, the cranes? And then when
Yep.
that one is dead, 3 seconds later it will spawn one at the sawmill. So we want to do these kills as quickly as possible, of course, so we use these 20 seconds to do setup. So we grab a Magnuson device here, punt it over there. Now, because you can't go faster than 1,000 units per second while you're holding a prop, we actually punt it up into the air and then go at the maximum speed we can, because just going at 1,000 units per second won't be fast enough for the strat that we're doing. Yeah, and the Magnuson devices can't hit the ground or they'll explode. If they hit the ground too fast, they just explode. Okay, and that was actually a super throw. I should probably mention that. So when you throw an item, like a prop, with mouse 1, and then you hold mouse 1 and press E, it re-grabs it and re-throws it immediately, and it gets more speed. And you can do that multiple times, so we just throw it really, really fast. Yes, and here's the energy orb. It turns out when you punt an energy orb, so when you shoot an energy orb and you grab it with a gravity gun and punt it, it deals 6 times damage than it normally would. And if you hit a specific part of the strider, it will just die from the energy orb. And it's
Yeah, my guess is that it's actually like a leftover from Half-Life 2, because you used to be able to kill the Striders really easily in like the last chapter of the game, or second last chapter.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's the part where you have to actually kill it with the energy orb, isn't there?
Yeah, it's in like all benefactors, I think it's called.
Well, you think you have to do it with 3, but he would do it with 1. What I think it's happening is that it's hitting the strider multiple times.
Well, it depends on the difficulty, right? It's usually 2. If you punt the orbs, it's usually two orbs, but you can also get the random like one shot. Yeah.
Yeah, what I think is happening is that it's hitting like 2 hitboxes at the same time on the strider,
Yeah,
and then
okay.
it just dies. But lining it up here is extremely precise. I spent so much time just lining this up. And we punt it at exactly the right tick. And the sound is missing from this video, I'm sorry, but you actually have to hit the trigger here to make the strider spawn. So you have to punt it and then make your way over to the trigger to actually spawn it. And then continue on.
And the strider tries, the strider dies right as it spawns, right?
Yeah,
the orb hits it and then it kills it, right?
Yeah, it spawns, the orb hits it and it dies instantly. Okay.
We have a strider approaching.
And then we also killed the second strider really fast. So the basic of the strider fight here is that those first two striders that we just killed, those are ones that you need to kill fast, so to speak. And there's other ones where it doesn't really matter how fast we kill them, so we can take our time with some of them. Like the first strider, we don't need to worry about killing that fast, because killing that strider doesn't like immediately spawn new striders, or doesn't like cause new striders to spawn on a timer. So that's something to keep in mind in the strider fight. So we set up like 2 magnuses there.
Yeah, we have like 90 seconds to do this.
Yeah, there's lots of time to do stuff in the strider fight, so we can like go in the house, grab some health. And then for this one we ended up doing the crowbar kill on the strider. For done quick we did Gordon's fat ass strats, as Matmo called them.
I love that.
Where you just like fall into the strider and that somehow destroys the Magnusson also.
Alright, lots of waiting.
And yeah, this is one of the important striders where we wanna kill it right as it spawns.
Yeah, and it was tick
Just
perfect.
like that. Yeah, and then there's like 20 seconds until this next one spawns at the sawmill. So we go there. Time is gonna punt it and
we actually
it's
have
keep it
weapons
actually.
this time. We don't have to use the AR2.
yeah.
This is 10
That's,
seconds, we
another
have 10
change.
seconds to do this one. And... oh, some more matrix dodging. Now...
Yeah, someone hasn't played this game in a while. Like one thing to keep in mind is that the hunt of like fletchettes that they're shooting the blue things, they actually destroy the Magnusson device immediately, so they can't actually hit it. So that's
yeah,
why you
I
need to be
had
careful
like,
there.
I had like 3 of them shooting at me. And yeah, tick perfect kill. Now we have to kill some hunters, of course, because they get really annoying. But there's one of them that we can't kill because it would just crash the game if we do. So I leave that one alive up there.
Yeah, there's like a couple different bugs that can happen with the hunters, and they can like crash your game. And that I think that specific one happens if you kill the first strider really fast. That's something that can cause it.
And it's about trying to slow you down.
Yeah, and now we're just on a timer again, so... yeah. Now we get...
And there's another difference compared to Done Quick is that we can actually use like rockets and stuff to kill the hunters because we're playing on easy difficulty. The main reason for playing on easy, by the way, is that well, the helicopter fight is faster, and then easy also allows for some like damage boosting. So that's why people play on easy for Half-Life 2 games. Like the difficulty doesn't really have like any other meaningful difference here.
Now this one's tick perfect again, and I shot the shotgun twice to make the timing easier for me. To get it tick perfect.
Yeah, just to like mention on the enemies part again, like for Done Quick we used mostly like physics objects to kill the hunters because like physics damage isn't scaled between difficulties, so it like deals the same amount of damage on easy as it does on hard. But for this one we could just use the weapons like normal.
Yeah, and we actually, because we save deleted, we actually have hit scan weapons. And Done Quick only had the AR2, which is really inaccurate and doesn't have a lot of ammo. And now there's only 5 striders left, so this is like the second wave of striders, and they're all on a global timer now, so we don't need to worry about killing these fast. Well, the first 3 of them anyway. And because there's so much time, we just did a little plus right there, a little 360.
Actually stealing my gig.
We have a strider coming in from the crate.
Movement through this section, through this map is actually really awkward because there's so many slopes, you just launch randomly.
Now there's one at the sawmill.
Yeah, if you do like RTA runs of this game, you usually don't want to go too fast in these slope areas. Like you want to go at like 1,000 units per second at most, in order to avoid getting randomly launched, unless you actually need to go fast.
They're coming from everywhere. Strider spotted at the water tower.
Now the grenade shot is something that Van Quick also did. But I was actually starting to run out of ammo here. I think we do run out of the shotgun ammo. And we go down to the last shot on the revolver as well. And we don't have any rockets either. So we're just setting up for the final 2 kills. So we got a Magnuson device on the rocks.
Yeah, there's gonna be one spawning at the sawmill and one at the cranes, so.
And here's the dropship one, I think, isn't it?
Yep, this is the swag one.
Yeah, so this is a swag kill. We shoot a Magnuson onto a Strider that's still in the dropship. And we kill it, and that doesn't actually like advance the game at all. It's just for fun.
One thing here
Here we go.
I want to mention is that when you hold the Magnuson device with the gravity gun and you hold it beneath yourself, then it would just move you up. You could just float up with it.
Yeah, it's like a little bit tricky to do, but yeah, you can do it.
Screw gravity.
Yeah.
And that one lands on the Strider back there.
So here, we are killing both Striders with a pistol while in the air. And the reason we wait until we're here is because we want to be as close as we can to the end of the level while we do this, because killing these 2 Striders ends this cutscene pretty much immediately. And we just want to be as close as we can so we can maintain speed. Oh.
Oh yeah, I had to kill the
And
left one
signal.
first, because if I had shot the right one first, then the hunter that's there would have shot down the Magnuson device from the left one. They made they made the shot to the right one a bit trickier, but I managed it. Also, interesting thing with the pistol is if you shoot with a pistol and then save load, you can just shoot immediately. There's no delay. Yeah, and now we're on the final map.
Yeah, so what we're going to be doing on this final map is, there's actually like a little trick here. We're going to push Alex into the room a little bit quicker, using that, like by just holding W while you're next to her, and then you use the metal trolley to push her into the room. Speeds up this cutscene a little bit, and then what we're going to be doing is the kill on Magnuson. So an interesting mechanic in Half-Life 2 games is that normally you can't shoot friendly NPCs like you can in Half-Life 1. But if you have like that explosive canister and then an orb, it like counts it as like environmental damage or something. So you can actually, it like indirectly does damage to your friendly NPCs. So that's why you can actually kill Magnuson then. And usually killing NPCs soft locks the cutscene. But in this specific spot, it actually speeds up the cutscene. There's usually like a cutscene between Magnuson and Alex there, but because he dies, Alex is just like, peace out, I'm gonna go. Doesn't give a fuck, and then...
Thank God that guy's dead.
Yeah.
Don't have to listen to that anymore.
Yeah, jeez. And then, yeah, so after that we can proceed with the rest of the map. And another peculiar thing there is that Alex, there's like an invisible wall where Alex is currently standing in. And we need to actually clip past it in order to proceed in the level. So that's why we put the metal trolley inside like inside the door there. And then the door's gonna close. And what that's gonna do is the metal trolley is gonna first it's gonna lose collision, and then it's gonna regain it in a couple of seconds. So when it regains collision, we can like get stuck in the prop and then clip into the ground. And then we can do like a damage boost, and then we can clip to the end of this hallway. And we punted that little like cardboard box so we can do teleports on Alex here.
Yeah, this is one of the best props for clipping, isn't it? For teleporting, I mean.
Yeah, it's a pretty good prop for teleporting him.
Even I can do it with that prop. And it just makes me so happy that Magnuson doesn't talk in this cutscene. Because he's really annoying.
He's
Wow,
dead.
rude.
Magnuson is fucking dead.
And the way this cutscene plays out is kind of funny, where they are like just pausing awkwardly while Magnuson is not talking.
Yeah, like he's supposed to talk here, but he's dead, so everyone's just looking at the screen like,
It's an
alright.
interesting red lamp. Yeah. Honors of pressing the button.
And because there's nothing for us to do, we're gonna find something to do. Like, done quick, killed all the birds. We're actually gonna leave the room. This doesn't save time or anything, this is just for swag. I'm gonna jump on the rocket as it goes up.
Up we go.
And lift off!
Yeah, Gordon Freeman is actually a SpaceX astronaut. That's where Half-Life 3 is going.
And landing on these trees like that can cancel your speed and cancel your fall damage.
And then yeah, we need to do like another clip to get back in bounds here, because there's like an invisible ceiling there. That won't see you from going in or out. And then here we draw the SourceRuns guy. I think we were debating quite a long time what we're going to be drawing here, and I think we ended up with the SourceRuns guy because it was like easy enough to draw and something.
It actually took me like half an hour of attempts to draw him perfectly. It's been.
Who is the SourceRuns guy?
It's the stick figure from the SourceRuns emote.
No, I know,
the
but like,
logo.
who is that? Is that Gordon Freeman, or
I don't
No,
know.
it's a SourceRuns guy.
maybe it's Jared?
Also, obligatory for all of our runs is some ass staring.
Oh, of course. Tribute to Matmo.
We're gonna wait for NPCs to shut up, of course. Yeah, where are you two? Move!
Did Alex just like teleport around the corner?
No, she walked, but yeah. She's
Oh,
like,
it looked
hurry
very
up guys, we have a
sudden.
speedrun to do.
Yeah, come on, Eli, you're holding up.
Yeah, so I guess it's worth mentioning that some of these cutscenes aren't actually like skippable. Like you have to actually wait through the whole cutscene to play it for the map to finish.
Yeah. Here we're killing one of the advisors, which in the end is supposed to kill Eli Vance. But if the advisor's dead, Eli can't die. It's simple logic, you know. So we're gonna kill one of the advisors, and that kind of confuses the game so much that the ending cutscene is just a completely new thing. So we're gonna see in a second
and
here.
1 HP. Obviously, we have to end our runs on 1 HP.
1 HP clutch.
Oh, these teleports are so sick. Like, in this whole distance, in just one teleport.
I gotta say that 1 HP isn't as impressive when you like intensely damage yourself to 1 HP. It's like, it doesn't seem as calculated, you know?
Yeah.
So I think we need to step it up a bit with the leveling.
all that's left to do now is to do these teleports. And these are really good teleports. I think I beat Done Quick by a few seconds with these ones.
Did you get the most of the time set from the ending, or? Because I don't think those teleports save any time. Teleporting them here.
Well, I think I saved time. I don't know what I calculated exactly, but yeah.
As far as I know, those don't matter at all, but I could be wrong.
And they're sharing an intimate moment there, so I bashed the box on their heads.
Yeah. No time for intimate moments. Only speed run.
I think so. Dr. Kleiner gave us the Borealis coordinates.
So in the original game, Eli's supposed to die here.
Actually,
but,
interesting
since we killed the
tidbit.
advisor.
If you don't
Oh.
step out of the elevator, the game ends half a second later. I don't know why, it just does.
And now it's time for yoga. So we're gonna start with the invisible wall position. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, there it is.
So there you go. There's the invisible wall position. You just bring your hands backwards. Give that a little bit of a stretch with the shoulders. Yeah, good job. Alex got it. Eli's not doing a great job. He's just kind of standing there. Maybe he's not
Eli-
really bothered with yoga class.
Eli's doing the default NPC position.
Don't know why he signed up for this class if he's not going to pay attention to our instructions. The shed's getting destroyed in the background.
Look at that levolution.
by nothing. Alex is doing a great job with this yoga. Look at her go. Eli's telling Alex he loves her. Not the time. We're in yoga class. Focus. Eli. Okay.
You gotta listen to like the first half of this ending cutscene with your eyes closed. It's quite an experience.
Oh. Yeah. And then it's break time. Alex is
It's zooming
in on Alex. Alex was a really good role model during this yoga class. We're zooming in on her. Maybe she's gonna do some cool other things.
I think the game is paying tribute to Matmo.
Yeah.
True.
All right.
That's the end.
Okay, we can. This is the outro. Thank you to 838 for making the outro. Really great.
And thank
really
you
great
to
job.
thanks to Smiley for rendering the run. He spent a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
We finished the run in September, but it's taken until now to get it out.
Yeah. And yeah.
We've got all the runners.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Do you guys
Rama.
want to thank anyone
Hey,
else?
Rama's in this
Any
run, by the
pers-
way.
Yeah, Rama's in this run. I was gonna ask him if he wanted to join, but he was playing Gary's mod, so I didn't want to disturb him. We'll just pause it here. Do you guys want to thank anyone else personally or anything?
I want to thank Jared for making SourceRuns.
Oh well, yeah, definitely.
Call any like pets or dogs in the tank. I don't know. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for working on this run. Was quite a long project actually. We started this in like I think it was 2018.
December 2018. Yeah. And then it
December
was, like,
2018 we started this. Yeah.
It was like dead for over a year, and then we did.
Yeah, we started it.
We did it all last
with,
summer.
We started it with like me, Rama, and Papers. We were gonna do like stuff, and then I did actually I think it was the dog race map segments, and then like the cutscene segments after that. That was like the first bit that completed, and then yeah, the new god took over with like QE2B and Calamity doing a lot of segments, and then obviously like everyone helping writing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
did
just
like
asked.
we did like 80% of the run. No, actually, the cutscene that you did, that's like 8 minutes, so that was a third of the run. But 2/3 of the run were done in like a month last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just asked if we could revive the run, and they're like, "Yeah, all right." Do I have anyone else to thank? SourceRuns, everyone at SourceRuns. If you guys
Yeah.
want to learn how to speedrun games that has Source Engine, like Half-Life, Portal, whatever, head down to discord.gg/SourceRuns.
Actually, for Portal,
It's
you go
very
to
fun.
you go to the Portal Speedruns Discord.
Yeah.
Well, we got plenty of people to help you out.
You can find all those discords on the speedrun.com pages of the games. Well, if that's it, then I think that's the end of the commentary.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright,
Sick.
The run's coming out in 4 hours as we record this. We're cutting it close.
Yeah, we're cutting real close to doing this recording. Alright. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time for whatever the fuck we're gonna release next, which I don't know what that is gonna be.
Gunman
but
Chronicles, I think.
Stay tuned. Gunman Chronicles. Stay tuned for Gunman Chronicles.
Alright.
Alright.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Bye bye.
Bye. Ah.